here I found a painting done by another artist, obviously hand painted. And I took the challenge on to see if I could recreate my own version doing some fluid art techniques. So right now what I'm working on, and this whole video has been sped up because it is entirely too long, is I had some leftover puddle paints from a pearl painting I had done in the past. And unfortunately they are mixed colors, so I think there's some Prussian blue, crimson, um, the green, all mixed up, and I'm trying to create a background. And from here, you see I'm not covering the whole thing because that I had already penciled out kind of where I wanted the oyster shell in the middle and really didn't need to darken up that middle section. So from here, I'm going to use a leftover cloud mixture of white that is just going to lighten up that whole background. So we'll be tilting that out here. Sorry, I don't have the camera up high enough to the whole thing, but didn't really want it dark, so that's why the cloud over paint really helped to lighten that up. Okay. Here I'm just laying out again where I'll have the pearl, taking some of the Prussian blue and outlining the oyster shape. And from here, you're going to see me use a variety of colors, and you'll see that I just really do not like how the oyster was turning out. I used way too much paint at the very beginning of doing this, and so you'll see at some point I go to really just swipe all of that paint up and try something different or a new way to do that. And that's great. I wanted you to see that sometimes that happens during these paintings, and don't give up right away. See if you can fix it. And if you can't, you can always scrape that paint into another bucket and use it for later, which is what I did here. So I will stop talking right now and let you enjoy and come back later. I'm back. So right now, I'm still trying to do as much of this oyster without using a brush. I really was trying to embrace the whole part of the fluid art and seeing where I can get. I start using the swipe technique a little bit later here, using mostly my palette knives to mix some of the colors around and being very careful not to put too much paint. Some of the paint colors I'm using here are Prussian blue, I know the quinacridone, azo nickel, excuse me, and some mixed other blue colors that I had laying around, along with some of the crimson, and I think maybe a touch of gold is what I use to spread around. Um, and then you'll see that once I get to a certain point, I'll go in and start the pearl, which again I ended up using way too much paint and had to dab it out, but actually in doing so created a really cool looking pearl, which I did not have to touch up. But what you'll see is I get so far in this video as to get the full outline and the basics behind the pearl. But I do in the end go in with a brush and um, touch up those areas and make them more succinct and bold, especially in the corner, this front corner blue area, to give it more depth, which I did not videotape, but you will see at the end that I do post the picture um, that uh, I finished up with, and this one is hanging on the wall in my sister's house, so I'm glad she really enjoyed it. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Please visit my website, and I'll put that in the description along with all the tools and paints that I used. And please visit my channel again if you haven't already. Please, excuse me, subscribe and hit the like button. And we'll see you next time. Enjoy. Here we're at the end of what I would consider the fluid art method. I did go back in and hand paint some details, as you can see in the finished product. Hope you enjoyed. Come back soon.